Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Magic Myths and Mayhem, a TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and GM, and with Gem, your host and GM, and with me are Rowan, Birdie, Mark, and a late Joe, my wonderful players. How are you all doing?
Hello.
It's too hot.
Hot, thank you.
It is very hot. So, this is for the podcast. It is hot. Fans will be running, windows will be open. So if you hear background noise, I will do my best to mitigate that in the post-processing. But in the kindest way possible, deal with it. Because it's too hot. You picked up on it. I wasn't sure how audible that one was. But you know, I can't be mad that you do, because I mean, the amount that I relentlessly rag on Purdy for saying anything even slightly wrong.
It's a professional possibility.
It's professional courtesy. Yeah, I mean, how are you doing other than hot? Has everyone been... This is the first time we'll all be around, ironically. Joe isn't here.
Yeah, it's alright.
Now, we always do a... Ooh, where's the person who's not currently here? And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to say, it's very simple. Joe isn't here, at least at the beginning of this, because they're being detained. And from
that's completely true.
Yeah, from previous things you're going to say to me, podcast listeners, you'll say, well, it's a joke, of course, because they always come up with jokes. I have a message that says from Joe on Discord, fuck Discord, that says, please start without me, I am being detained. So we'll find out how long until he's here. Probably making dinner. Yeah. But anyway, the point is, I don't know what the point was, to be honest with you. We do have a recap. It's a useful one. You might actually have to listen. That's the recap. Listen. There you go.
More of a recap for you.
God. Yeah, play it. Late in O2, as night took hold, the streets were dim, the air turned cold. The market slept, the stalls were bare, so to the salted leech they took their care. A drink in hand, they felt the stir of stories whispered, secrets blur. A shady man approached their seat. His voice was low, his gaze discreet. He spoke of the dark heart, shadows deep, a place where ancient secrets sleep. But answers, he said, would come with a fee. He'd trade his knowledge for a deed, you see. His ledger was lost, locked away tight, in the holding office, shrouded from sight. Though cautious, they chose to take the chance, a dangerous offer, a curious dance. So to the office they went, its doors sealed fast, with magic wards and locks steadfast. But a skeleton key from Amishan's hall broke through the spell, dissolved the wall. Inside a corridor, narrow and bare, another locked door was waiting there. With a swing of his pick, Ozzy crashed through. No spell could stop him, no lock could hold true. The reception revealed, their search began. Desks and drawers they swiftly scanned. A clockwork cube and a confiscated book, but the door ahead was what caught their look. Beyond lay hallways, doors galore, 3-key locks and puzzles in store. Abjuration magic they carefully weighed, while wooden doors their path conveyed. A garden was found past a metal frame, and soon a sharp-eyed guard became a wrinkle within their careful scheme. But Monty was ready with his charming gleam. A coin exchanged, a curious mind, they gently nudged him. There's more outside. A shove to the garden, the door was sealed, their passage secured, the guard repealed. Upward they climbed the spiral stair, to an office packed with treasures rare, safes and desks, a mannequin's coat, and papers and posters with curious note. They rifled through drawers with nimble flair, some with traps, Monty took care. One drawer shrieked, but the silence fell, another was locked, its secrets withheld. Among the finds a bronze key gleamed, 7 emeralds darkly beamed, a shadowy orb, mysterious cold, and pens and parchment neatly rolled. In the hearth behind, a stone so sly, a silver key had caught their eye. But the safes stood strong, complex and grand, their riddles untouched by mortal hand. What waits within those locked confines? Perhaps more puzzles or darker signs, but for now their quest has just begun. A curious chase, some dangerous fun. Yeah, how about that? Actual information.
Oh, God. Well, kind of.
Were you listening?
I was listening. It actually did remind me.
I was doing my very best You know what happens to my brain when riddles are going on.
That's not a riddle. That's a poem. None of that was a riddle. Were you trying to solve the riddle? Because you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
I remember that we had found
Well,
2 keys. And
we start our episode
Yes.
in the lower decks of the Tainted Treant. Niffy,
Yo.
you opted not to go with the crew. You, I was going to say parked up. You docked up in O2 and went, I don't care. I'm going to get Mary instead.
Mary.
About right.
You're sitting there. You've gone through the biggest part of the high. It's been a good few hours, and you're like, well, now I'm just bored and a little bit hungry. But as you're thinking about all these sorts of things, you realize there's a bit of a scratching and a bumping from the top of the deck. Curious, of course, you have a little peek. Is there someone up there? And it's Pumpkin Spice Latte, scuttering around in circles, obviously quite agitated. You recognize this look quite a lot. Pumpkin Spice Latte is also very bored and doing his best to not actually leave the ship, but like keeps going up to the edge and then running away again, and then going up to the edge curiously and then running away again. And this is the scuttering that you can hear.
What the fuck, dude?
Just looks at you like,
I don't want to stay here. But why? Oh, you're such a pain in the ass.
just wanders over to you and just like nudges like at your shin level to make you just sort of fall onto his back.
Fuck. Hey, go on then.
And very happy, you just have to grip on us. He just charges off the boat. It's quite late in the evening, so there's not many people, but the few that do see this sight either are too drunk to realize that it's real or just want to get the hell out of there very quickly. Facing backwards, you have no idea what's actually going on, but you realize about 20 minutes into this escapade around, Pumpkin is now sniffing a lot, just sniffing the air, sniffing around, sniffing the ground, and eventually, after you possibly fell asleep for a little bit, you don't really care, you were bored.
Oh, definitely passed out.
You realize, or should I say you wake up gently as you're thrown onto the floor by accident when Pumpkin stands up on his hind legs in front of a building.
Why are we here?
You're standing in front of, let's say, it's a squat grey structure of rough-cut stone, 2 stories tall, with a low slate roof and narrow windows sealed with heavy wrought iron bars. A dull iron plaque is bolted beside the heavy metal door, mostly rusted, but still readable. And as you are close enough, you can see that it reads O2 Holding and Confiscation Office, Department of Civic Security. Authorized entry only, magical items must be declared. You can see the front door has already been opened. It is left open, and you can see that leads to a little hallway that leads to a second door that has been, let's say, more aggressively opened, in that it has been obviously bashed open. You can hear echoing through from inside a slight thumping. Not quite sure what that could be, but you can also hear voices coming out of the slightly open window above you on the first floor. Pumpkin is like looking at the door and then wanders over to it and just kind of like squeezes into that first bit and then backs out again, realizing that they're a bit too big to get in there. I mean, mechanically they can, but they're kind of big.
Do you want to go in?
Just looks at you and puts their butt down on the ground. Because they're quite low when they sit, as it would be in quotes, they don't actually move that much.
Why can't we just threat ship?
All of you upstairs just hear this very audible from outside the window.
Oh god, someone's coming.
Everyone, quiet.
Come on then.
So, you're at the bottom here. You step into this hallway, which there's a little bench on your left and this smashed open door through which you can see a desk, some kind of reception-y area. That's room 2.
I'll go into room 2 then.
You step through and you can see there is a door in front of you. That is what this is here, which is open. And you can see a little panel here, sort of like it would look a little bit like an electrical cupboard or like a small passageway type thing, which is not open.
Can I open it?
You attempt to open it. There is no handle or anything, but it is in fact unopenable.
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 Okay, I think that's what you
Cannot
said.
be opened.
Thank you.
Its openability is
I
set
just
to
keep getting
0.
poppable, which I'm guessing is saying unopenable.
That's it.
Yes.
That's the very word.
Right, okay.
Unopenable.
Oh, I can hear that. Cool. What do we do then?
Okay, I feel you
What do you
misunderstood. There is an open door in front of you and a
Open
door
door.
that you can't open.
Oh, okay, I'll go through the open door. I thought you said there was a...
No.
No.
the door wasn't
There's an open
open.
door and a panel. And you said, I want to open the
Fucking
panel, and I
hot.
said you can't open it. Well, I guess there's nothing. Time to go home.
It's fucking hot. I go through the door.
There you go. You see and hear a window to your right that is barred up. The door on the right of you it's got 3 locks in a triangle shape. The door is closed. And the door to the left of you is a wooden door that is also open.
I'll go through the wooden door.
Okie dokie. This is when you can see a door on your left that is a metal door. It has some kind of latch system. There's a circle in the center, which is attached to 2 bars that evidently go outwards to lock the door into the frame. You presume that if you turned that, it would unlock the door. You can hear that the door is being banged on, like as if something or someone is behind it. The door on the other side, on the right-hand side for you, is another door that has 3 locks in a triangle shape. And ahead of you is a spiral staircase that goes both up and down.
So 5 has got the door knocking.
Mm-hmm. But you have no idea what it is. I know you can see, but you would not know what's out there.
I'll try and open door 5.
Oh dear.
Okay. You open up the door, and a man sort of half falls through, not expecting the door to open, and half knocks into you, like, oh, sorry. Right, thank you for letting me out. This is
You're welcome.
evidently a guard. It's like, what are you doing here? Also, have you seen some strange people around here?
There's a lot of strange people around here.
Yeah, I mean specifically like one who's got like ginger hair and lots of armor, and then one who has like a mask on, and then another one who was quite small and furry.
I think I saw the one go out the door and
Which door?
the main door.
Oh, those bastards. Scarpers off past you, goes through that door, grumbling and mumbling, blah, 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 blah. Sees Pumpkin like on the way, and it's just like, what the? No, never mind. It just scarpers out the door, and then you don't know where they've gone. They sort of just the sound gets quieter and quieter.
At that point, I'll start shouting, Marco!
You guys heard some voices downstairs. One was higher pitched, and one was obviously that guard. The guard has probably been let out. You heard the door open, but it's too muffled to hear what the conversation actually was. And then a weird voice calls out into the darkness.
Marco!
Polo!
Ah! I will follow the polo and keep
It's
shouting
coming from-
Marco until I
It's
know where
coming
I'm
from
going.
up the stairs.
You do this burglary lark, aren't you?
It's a reflex.
I'll get to the bottom of the stairs and go, Marco!
Polo! Fuck.
I'll come upstairs.
You get to the top of the stairs, which is over here. You guys see Niffy's hair first, of course, appear out. Actually, no, I like to imagine you tried to go first, but Pumpkin like blasts their way up before you. So you guys see some kind of weird lizard-like thing with wings sticking out as it appears from the top, and then just goes, blah.
It's a. Oh.
And then Pumpkin gets like poked in the butthole to move out the way as Niffy comes up.
Oh.
Marco!
The butthole.
I'll describe this room for you, Niffy, in more detail. This is room 6. Ah, hello.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Joe!
We've got a phone, Joe.
ET phone Joe.
Sorry I'm so late.
Maybe Joe's phoning us.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
My
Hello.
apologies. Can everyone hear me all right?
No.
No, I can't hear you at all.
Well,
I am very warm.
I bet you are. Is everything okay?
Has someone given an explanation for why I wasn't here for the podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
You
just
can
said.
cut
I
out
said
the
you
other
sent
one?
me a message. I said you sent me a
Oh,
message
okay.
that said, "Start without me. I'm being detained."
Yeah. So
Yes.
we're hoping you
Would
might
you like to
escape.
know what I was detained over? It wasn't making sure that everyone had dinner and prep for an event tomorrow. I was
What was
caught smuggling Cuban cigars into Cuba because they were they
You
were
got a deficit.
counterfeit from Daneland, where the Danish live.
Daneland. Yeah, the bordering country to Cuba, Daneland.
Yeah.
Daneland.
Yeah, it's an island owned. It's an island territory of the Denmarkish government, Daneland. It's right next to Cuba.
Okay.
You know, you've actually turned up with perfect timing because Neva has just popped
Neva?
up the spiral staircase. Jeez.
I didn't know neither was in this game.
Niffy has just popped out of the spiral staircase and said, hello.
No,
I was
she
about
said
to
Marco.
explain the room again. She said Marco. The room you're standing in is 25 by 20 feet. As you ascend the steps, you exit out the top into a large office room, exiting in the northwestern corner. The office is quiet, perhaps too quiet, making an almost eerie atmosphere, and it is evident that whoever owns this office is a person of order and keen on neatness. To save having to go through the whole thing again, I will go through the bits and pieces. There is a big wooden desk in the center. You can see that 3 of the drawers have already been opened. This is to you, Niffy. One of them appears to be locked shut. There are some safes in the corner, 3 in particular, 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one. I'll get to that in a second. That is what Monty is currently looking at. There is a fireplace in which you can see 1 stone has been removed from the back, and Pesto looking very proud of themselves, and a pile of rubbish in the corner, which at this point now doesn't have anything notable on top of it. Oh, and there's a big window on the eastern wall.
Oh, hi.
Marco.
No. Hang on. Did I hear you talking to that guard chappie downstairs?
Yeah.
Is
Why?
he still all right? I felt a bit guilty locking him in there.
He's a bit pissed off.
Well, we'll let him out. We leave. Don't worry.
Oh, I would have done that.
You've already done that. You've already let him out then.
Yeah.
Good.
I
What?
thought that would be really bad, Captain.
Yeah, that. What if they're going to get reinforcements?
They can do that, but I told them you went that way. And just points randomly.
I'm sure there's no problem at all, but let's just move rather quickly with the remainder of our little investigation, shall we?
How long ago was that, Niffy?
Like just now, I sent them on a wild eagle chase.
I'm gonna sprint down, see if he's still in the building.
You sprint downstairs, no trace.
Is that because the door's closed and he's still in there, or
No, the door to
and she's
5
lying,
is
or
the door to 5 is wide open,
damn it?
and he's not in there.
He's not in the entrance bits either.
It depends how far are you going. If you go all the way to the
would
reception, you don't
go
see
to-
him.
We'll go to the front. Yeah.
You go to the front door, have a peek out. It's very quiet. You can see. I mean, it's literally only been 10 seconds, so you can see him in the far distance, just about to disappear around a corner. Or you can see a guard, but there's no one else around. I would say he's about. They'd only be about 100 feet away. Actually, not that far at all. But walking away from you.
Walking or running?
Walking quickly with purpose.
Still in this quiet alley, or
There's no quiet alley. You're in what is effectively like a smallish courtyard. No one is around. So imagine a square courtyard, and it's made up of buildings that has alleys either side of them. It's not like a solid courtyard. There's a couple entrances to the courtyard, one directly opposite where you are and one over to the right. They're leaving the one that is directly opposite to you, and between you and them is just like what was at one point a little grassy area with a tree, but it's so old and overgrown it's kind of just mess of roots and things where the paving stones have cracked out and such. But he's about to just exit out this courtyard.
I'll head back upstairs then. Because if he was closer, I'd have just gone for him and tried to get him before he was able to alert anyone. But he's too far away for me to effectively do that.
To be fair to you and him, I imagine you weren't being particularly silent, were you? If you were running down with your armor.
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm neutral on stealth check, so I don't have disadvantage. Well, I have
But
disadvantage.
either way,
on
it's
advantage, so it's neutral.
If you were trying to
Yeah,
be
I would've-
stealthy, then you don't have the disadvantage. But if you were just sprinting out the front door, it's going to clank, 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 clank a little bit. Like you have the ability to negate.
I wouldn't have gone out the front door, just to that little porch thing.
Yeah. What I'm saying is he has a chance of noticing you're there, and I'm going to roll for it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Nope, just keeps walking. Seems very focused on going a different direction.
I will sprint back upstairs.
Yep.
To update the crew and tell Niffy that she's been less than helpful.
What do you mean I've been less than helpful? I literally sent them the opposite fucking way.
Oh yeah, but like we could have
But
just.
they were locked up.
Yeah. It wasn't a problem before, and now it's kind of a problem.
Look, in my defense, I came in here guessing I was looking for you guys. There was knocking on the door, and I thought you guys were stuck. So I went to check, and turned out it was the guard. So when he described you guys, I sent him the opposite way.
Well, I appreciate the effort. Thank you very much. But I do think we might have to bet a bit of a move on just in case. But anyway, lovely to see you. I'm glad you made it. How did you find us, by the way?
I shouted Marco.
Well,
How did you find this building we're in?
Oh, Puddin. That's my real life cat. Pumpkin. Pumpkin brought me this way.
Pumpkin is just like spinning in circles, and then notices Pesto and just like runs on over and starts just licking your face because you're kind of eye to eye.
no! It's too
And then, like,
wet!
as you're trying to say no, it like kind of overwhelms you a little bit and just starts like nibbling on your ear, not painfully, just nibbling on your ear.
Stop it!
I keep saying, Captain, we need to fucking get rid of that thing. It's a security hazard.
The Pumpkin has just brought our shipmate
That's
to
not
us.
a nice way to talk about spinach.
Much as I'd like to explore that particular statement, we are in a bit of a time crunch because of, unavoidable circumstances.
You look over, and at this point now, Pumpkin Spice Latte has done the same thing as it did to Niffy, and like put their head like down on your legs and then lift it up. Because you're so small, you're now just like grabbing onto his big old head and just sort of like he's going, "Where the fuck am I?" And you're like, "Wait, wait."
The toys have come over and are like, ah, ah!
Yeah, it's just like a tail. Just there. These safes in the
Safes.
corner.
Yeah.
I described them to you before. There was two big ones and a small one sitting on top. There was one big one with a brass rotary dial with etched numbers from 0 to 30 and a tarnished plaque that reads, "We start young, but time makes us grow." There's a second big one that has a large keyhole, a metal rectangle on the floor in front of the safe, and a strange circular indentation at the top, and then 3 small lights on the door at the top, all of which are currently off. And then the small safe that has 3 distinct keyholes stacked vertically, but no handle. The keyholes are coloured differently as follows: bronze, silver, gold. Now, last week you said it was difficult to interpret without seeing it. So what I've done is made it in 3D for you.
That's very cool.
Oh.
So you can zoom in on it. It's actually a fairly high quality image. It's
It
even got
is.
3D keyholes. So this is what you see. Close enough at least. This is...
If you'd like to see this image, along with not safe for work art of the safe,
No.
head to our Patreon.
Wait, it has to
Where
be
we have
safe though.
the-
You can't be not safe.
Those images.
You were kind of freaking out when you said that, but yes, Patreon. I can put this on Patreon. Hey, Alex of the future, make a note. You keep forgetting to do this. Make a note. No, don't listen to me and then stop that. Make the note, type it out, write it somewhere, put the thing in the Patreon. Thank you. I'm gonna swear at myself later.
Remind me what the text was?
Hilariously, it does say it on there, but it's kind of hard to read.
I know, my eyes are not.
Is we start young, but time makes us grow. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention to you, Niffy, is around this room, there's all sorts of pictures, and the walls of this room are littered with a variety of paintings, posters, and notes, all neatly placed in some kind of order, none looking particularly intriguing to you on the first look. You have indeed, as you have said, found 2 keys. You found a small bronze key and a small silver key. You also have a third key that you found in the desk of the reception, but you discovered that fits quite nicely into one of the triangle keyholes.
Mhm.
You've also found a dark black orb, and I believe you found a clockwork box of some kind, and 7
did.
small emeralds, each with different symbols etched onto them, and you found a heavy bronze gear. And then, to remind you, it was the bottom right desk drawer that was locked. You rolled, I believe, a 24 to try and unlock it with thieves' tools and still failed.
I did. I'm going to stand on the metal plate with my teeth clenched.
Interestingly, Nothing happens.
I really hoped you were going to say that. Okay. Next thing we're to do is, I said there was a circular indentation, and we have that black sphere. So I'm going to put the black sphere. Does it fit in the indentation?
It is smaller. I mean, it fits in the sense that you can put it in there, but it is not the same circumference.
And if I put it in there, nothing happens. It just rolls around.
No, nothing appears to happen.
Okay.
But we can still go in the basement. May as well cover our bases before we get stuck on something, right?
Very fair point. Very fair point. Just before we do, I'm just going to try turning the dial on the other safe.
All right, I'm going to go downstairs.
Yeah, it turns as you would expect for a safe. Rotates both directions, can go the whole way around, makes a gentle ticking noise as it moves. It doesn't seem in any way particularly strange for the context. Downstairs, you go into... walking down, all the way to past the ground floor into the... what you assume to be basement, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. You appear here.
Also, I'm gonna send Olive just outside to keep an eye on things and alert me if they see a bunch of people coming at us.
Sure. As you descend the narrow stone stairs, you notice it gets colder as you descend into the earth. At the bottom of the stairs is a short 10-foot corridor moving south that has a solid metal door at the other end with a single keyhole.
Oh no. Blasted keyholes. I'm going to try and pick the lock.
Sure.
May I assist?
As I said before, I'm not quite sure. You can try and convince me otherwise. I am happy for that, but I'm not really sure how you would help pick a lock. It's kind of a one-person job.
Well, you've got the rake and you've got the tensioner. So he could hold the tensioner while I do the rake. I mean, they could hold the tensioner. I do the rake.
I'm not gonna. You could. I'm not gonna say that's necessarily assisting. I will give you a more dynamic experience. If you try to lockpick and you fail, you may then give assistance to whoever tries second because you have tried and have experience with the lock.
Good idea. Okay, I'll go first. When I fail, whoever is good at lockpicking goes second. So I remember it's my just general proficiency, isn't it?
Yes, because you don't have expertise.
Which is another, which is +4. Where's the dice? Oh, that's what we want. It's not a natural 20, but it's a 19, so it's 23.
23. This is a ridiculously complex lock. You notice you're falling into a lot of pitfalls and traps inside the lock. What do they call them? They call them, I think it's like security pins or false positives or whatever.
Yeah.
The point is, you don't get through the lock. It is extremely secure.
Nope, beyond me, I'm afraid.
Oh, and your detect magic would still be up, Pesto, because from last time it hasn't been that long. Abjurative again.
Nope, sorry, beyond me. Anybody else any good at locks?
I can give it a try.
So I'll give whatever insight I can into how I failed, which will hopefully...
Yes, well, you could say that there's lots of like schemy little bits that you just don't quite understand, and Pesto with more experience would be like, yeah, I might be able to get past those.
You don't want us adding any attributes to it, right?
So last time you said you got confused because you said Dex plus proficiency, which is what we've done a lot in the past, but the actual rules are just proficiency or expertise.
Are they?
And I'm not really sure at what point I'm not really sure at what point my mind changed on that. Well, I mean, you can Google it, but I'm pretty sure it's just because it's a tool, you are using the tool, and if you are proficient in the tool, you get proficiency on the roll. It is not a stat-based thing. I think it is a very opinionated thing about whether you use sleight of hand or if you use whatever. But I think officially it's just a tool check. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected.
I don't want to read all this right now. I have expertise in whatever tool I use. So
Yeah. So yes, you have expertise on this roll.
Which means I add +8. That is a 25.
25. That was with advantage, yes?
Yes.
25. You notice all of these pitfalls and traps and things, and you think you could get around them, but as you're picking this lock, you notice something curious. I mean, you're all doing this all by feel, but you've got a lot of practice in this kind of area. You get the feeling that you certainly, with one swift move right now, could unlock this. But there's something else about this lock, a different catch, a mechanism in there that is not a part of the lock, but certainly will be activated as soon as you unlock this lock. You don't know if it's positive, you don't know if it's negative, you don't know what it is. You can just tell that if you unlock it, it unlocks, and something else might happen.
Is it the magical aspect of it?
This is not something, unfortunately, you can tell. You know the whole door has this abjurative magic on it, but there's no way to tell if these mechanics are linked to that.
You want me to keep going, Captain? Knowing that?
Let's see if we can find a key first. It must be in the building somewhere.
Alright.
It's possible we'll set the alarm off. We all have enough trouble already with that blasted guard.
We'll stop them.
Okay, you carefully pull the tools out. I will give you with that the ability to unlock the door in the same way you just have. If you come back to it, you don't have to re-roll. But of course, with the knowledge that something else might happen.
Exactly. So we'll try elsewhere. If we fail, then by all means. So unless anybody has any other thoughts, I suppose the only other place we could re-look now it's open again is the garden. Other than that, it's back to the saves. I start young, but time makes me grow.
What have Niffy and Ozzy been doing in this time?
I would have been letting these puzzles percolate in the back of my mind, Alex. Am I able to make some sort of intelligence roll about them?
I mean, you're always welcome to. How useful it will be will depend on the number. So I'm going to introduce you to the rules of D&D, which...
Yeah, but I want to make sure that you are okay for me to do so first.
No, I know. I was mocking myself for saying the results will depend on the number, as though that wasn't something you knew.
Oh, I see. Okay, that is a 10 roll, which I assume fails whatever roll.
Yes, you're welcome to add all your stuff.
That becomes a 19.
19. Are you looking at any one of them in particular or generally? You'll get more information
Generally.
on one if you're looking at one or generally. Okay. Well, as you look at the three safes, evidently, they are all three separate entities. And the first thing that you can work out, the three aren't linked. I mean, there might be something maybe in one that could help one of the others, but as far as you can tell, they are not connected in a sense that, pressing a button on one will do something on a different one.
Say it again?
So what I mean to say is, the safes are not physically connected mechanically.
Right.
It is not as though you rotate the dial on one and therefore two will start to light up.
Gotcha.
You can also see that the keys you have, they match exactly the same color as two of the keys on the small safe. So you can be fair. And in fact, with that investigation, you try putting them in, they fit nicely. They just won't rotate. You assume you would need all three of those. And the final thing I'll give you, that metal plate on the ground, you can see it has a seam as though it would raise into the air once you do something else. As though it is a pressure plate, it is just not currently in a triggerable state.
Okay. These 9 little green gems we have.
Emeralds, yes.
Emeralds. You said there's characters on them.
There's runes on them. They are not of a language that you know. They seem to be the equivalent of if you found runes that had found gems that just had random shapes on them.
Fair enough.
They seem consistent with a theme, but they are not anything you recognize.
So if we put all those in that little round indentation on the top of the safe.
No, nothing happens.
No, okay. It's got to be this brittle. It's got to be on the other safe. It's the only thing that starts small, but time makes me grow. Time the herb, time the concept. Time makes me grow. Well, everything grows with time.
It depends on how it's spelled.
Was there any other investigations people wanted to make? Because you did start mentioning investigations.
We didn't find anything in 5, right?
You didn't have the chance to look.
No, we didn't. I'm going to head back to 5, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that's the only other place we have access to, which we haven't really.
It's a walled garden, just for Purdy's sake. A walled garden. Around the edge of this garden is a long green bush with tight branches and neatly cut leaves that hides the bottom half of a tall stone walls that encase this whole area. The floor is a carpet of soft grass, and on the northern side there is a cobblestone platform with a stone bench on top. And opposite is a small statue of a figure wearing robes with no discernible features.
So I'm going to investigate, if I haven't already done so, Statue friend.
Sure, I believe Pesto already did, but you're welcome to.
I might as well. More as well. Oh, that's not in.
Or you might have done a religion check. I don't remember.
Please do better than that second time. That's slightly better. And 15.
The statue, just as you're looking at it, you're like, oh, could this be to do with something? Could this be to do with something else? And as you're looking at it, you realize there's almost like a seam that runs the whole way around, and you realize that this isn't an expensive stone-carved statue. This is some kind of manufactured shape, like the sort of thing you'd buy from IKEA or whatever to just pop in a garden to look nice. It seems unspecial of the highest degree.
So if I push it over, it'll just fall over.
You get the feeling it would, yes.
I'll push it. I'll try and push it over. And I suspect fail because I'm not very strong.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. This is going to be embarrassing. And that is... Yeah,
You're currently a Goliath.
I am a Goliath with a strength of 8. So that means I rolled an 8.
You push. It's a bit heavy. It's made of stone. It looks kind of embarrassing, this giant Goliath going and just being unable to push it over, but nothing.
It's very heavy.
Looks it.
Bester, you appear to have moved yourself into a corridor. Is there a reason for that?
I was going to check out the garden, but I didn't. I figured there wasn't a reason for both of us to be in there.
Oh, you can be investigating something else at the same time.
Go for it. Yes.
I don't know what else.
Effectively, there's 3 features. Bushes, bench, statue.
I've just done the statue. It's a very boring statue.
I'll investigate the bushes.
I will assist.
Sure.
25.
Ooh.
A nice low 25. You're searching through. Your low stature, making it quite easy to look along the bottom of the brush, and you're searching around going, I don't really know what I'm looking for, until eventually, in the corner, scurried away, you see a stone that does look different to any other pebbles and stuff you've seen around. A small black stone, maybe half the size of a fist, probably about the size of Pesto's fist, just sort of in the back, kind of fitted awkwardly, like it rolled under there, not like someone placed it.
Does it look like it would fit in the flat bit up top?
Again, it would fit in, but it is not the same shape. It wouldn't be like a nice, neat fit.
I guess I'll take it. It just stands out.
You reach in, what is this? And you grab onto it, and you almost like flinch away for a second, because weirdly it's kind of warm. Kind of like a stone that's been in the suns for a bit too long. It's not hot in a way that it hurts you. You're just like, ooh, why is it warm?
I don't like this.
Nothing else around here is warm. It's late in the evening. It's like 5 degrees outside.
What the fuck?
Whatever the equivalent of that is in Fahrenheit.
I'm taking out my knife and like flipping it.
Yeah, it's relatively heavy and kind of awkward to flip, but you kind of dig underneath it, and it rolls as a stone would. As you scratch up against it, it seems to be stone. It's reacting like stone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it up with my glove so I don't have to feel that.
Sure, yeah, you pick it up.
You got another warm rock?
Yeah.
Another warm rock?
I heard that those can be turned into things that like the phones, like they've got the radios. You can listen to things on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like an active radio rock.
Well, I have a warm rock.
You do.
Well then, Pesto.
Specifically, as I've written it, a small black stone that is always warm to the touch.
That's lovely. That'll be very...
At least that's the bit that you know.
Yes.
Is it...
Okay.
Is it magical?
There is like the absolute tiniest pathetic amount of magic attached to it.
I'm going to finish off by investigating the bench area.
Sure.
Yeah. 19.
19.
19.
Is a bench. I think you investigated last time and I said exactly the same thing. It's a bench.
It's still a bench. Okay, I'll sit on the bench. What a comfortable bench. Right. Well, that's something, I suppose. Let's head back upstairs again.
I hate that this is warm.
Same.
You head upstairs, and as you get to the top of the stairs, Niffy, you see a very recognizable item. That black stone that Pesto's holding, you haven't seen one of those in years. That's Patrick Pencil's pet potato. That's a great thing when you were a kid.
Oh my god, you love pet potato!
I beg your pardon?
You got a pet potato.
A pet?
What in the
Potato.
fuck are you talking? I honestly feel like I'm losing my shit.
You have
Yes.
a
Yes.
I know. I heard the words that you said. They just
potato.
don't fucking mean anything.
What is a pet potato precisely?
One of them.
This is a rock.
For Niffy's information, it's just like a toy you give to a kid, like a pet rock.
Yeah, no.
It's a toy, you're saying?
No, it's a pet potato.
Here, pumpkin, it's yours. Throw it to him.
You throw it to the ground, and Pumpkin immediately starts just like gnawing on this rock.
Well, not much use then. Okay.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, it's a toy, but it's a pet potato.
True.
Can I make a
pumpkin.
roll to not be stupid?
Yeah, you can make an intelligence roll if you want.
Okay. 18.
18. Circle indent. Circle indent.
I fucking asked you.
Yeah, he said it would fit, but it wouldn't fit perfectly.
Circle indent. Circle cog. Circle
Oh,
indent.
the cog!
Circle
course.
cog. Circle indent.
But put the cog
Pet
in the
potato.
indent. The cog. We had a big.
I just start
glass
saying
cog.
that exactly like that.
The cog.
The cog, of course, the
The
cog.
cog fits.
Jim.
Sorry, should I say the heavy bronze gear
Yes.
fits perfectly.
Ah.
You place it into the imprint, and it starts slowly rotating, and a soft whirring begins from the safe. The panel blocking the keyhole opens up, and the metal rectangle in front of the safe raises up slightly, and the 3 lights light up red.
No.
I'm going to stand on the plate.
You stand on the pressure plate, and it ever so slightly depresses, and
You die.
you die, apparently. One of the lights turns from red to green.
Okay, that's good. If I step off again, what happens?
It raises back up, and the light goes red.
Okay, so that's one thing. Marvelous. What the heck are the other two? I'm going to try and pick the lock.
Sure.
We haven't got the keys.
Don't we have keys? We have keys.
Well, we have the bronze. And I'll try the various keys we have, but I don't think any of them will fit. But the bronze.
You try all of the keys, none of them fit well enough.
Ah!
So I'm going to pick the lock, which is.
That roll is going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Is it?
What?
Yes.
Right. 15.
15. As you put the picks inside, there is a sharp zap as electricity shocks you through the lock picks as you take half 4 damage.
Ow!
Just like a shock through your hands.
You didn't check the inside of the lock. For a
You didn't check any of the lock, but also you didn't check the inside of the lock.
There's something electrical in here, and that, by the way, ouch. But okay, we've got one light on, which is good. That's a good thing. It's not a great thing, but it's a good thing.
There's now just a soft humming coming from that safe generally, like this whirring is continuing.
Yeah. Open sesame.
And what tune is it humming?
What tune is it
What
humming?
tune is it humming?
The blue car and the red car had a race.
All Red wants to do is stuff his face. I remember it.
What do you do? Disappointed that no one else does.
Never heard that in my entire life.
No.
Milky Way
What are you
fucking
talking about?
advert.
Yeah, that was a brilliant Adventist day. Absolutely.
Oh, we didn't have a kid when we didn't have a kid. We didn't have a TV when I was growing up. We didn't have a kid when I was growing up.
No, I wish.
Poor child.
We did have a TV. I distinctly remember having the largest CRT screen that has ever existed in the universe of ever.
We had a 36-inch CRT which weighed about 400 weight. It was absolutely huge.
What's a CRT?
Ridiculous. The big screens, you know, the ones that are like really deep. The old
Before-
ones.
I had one of them, but it had the sound system built in the bottom of it. So it was a big, like the size of my desk size.
Yeah, it was huge. What we had was
Brilliant.
huge. When we got rid of it, because we finally got our first plasma, it took 3 of us to get the television out of the lounge and into someone's car. It was huge.
So, just to go through so people can be a little bit more aware, a little less confused about where we stand.
Yeah.
The desk, you have opened 3 of the drawers. The desk itself, you have not done anything else with. Oh, you did look at the picture, but you didn't particularly pay much mind. You looked in the fireplace and found a key. You looked in the pile of rubbish and found a robot arm. You have not looked at the mannequin. You have not looked at the window. The safes, obviously, you were just interacting with, and the pictures and posters and stuff around the walls. You have not particularly looked at.
No, I remember the pictures.
I would like to go
Go on.
to the window and then to the wall.
To the wall.
But I don't sweat. I don't have balls.
They have eyeballs.
Yeah.
I'm going to,
That's
while
true.
Ozzy's
I
there,
would
I'm
love
going to
to not
grab
sweat.
the arm and go to the mannequin.
Grab the what?
You said we found an arm, a mechanical arm.
Oh, Pesto already took that.
Yeah, just going to take it over to the mannequin temporarily.
Does Pesto give up the mechanical arm?
Is the mannequin missing an arm?
It's it's just the chest. It's one of those that's like, as you look closer, it's just like the torso portion that has a coat draped around it.
So it's a bust.
It is
It's a torso bit. Yeah,
whatever. We all understand what I'm saying. Are you taking the coat off it?
I'm going to start by searching the coat, then take the coat off it.
Search the coat.
Investigate or what?
Yeah, investigate would work.
Can I try and persuade you? Because I'm very good at persuasion. Hey, coat. Tell your secrets. I'm so glad I have advantage. Yeah. A dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you very easily find a small gold key inside the breast pocket of the coat.
God, oh my God. I say, chaps, I found the gold key. But just hang on a moment while I quickly check over this this mannequin here.
Can I look over everything else on the desk that we have not looked over?
You want to just investigate the desk? All the
Just
things
in
on the
general.
desk.
Yes. Whichever knocks out the most things that we have not done yet.
What I mean is, if you investigate the desk, it'll be just a general check on the desk. If you want to look at specifically the things that are on the desk, I just give you more information on those things if you get a high roll. Because there's the little candle holder, the picture, and some books on the desk.
Sure. Let's do the things on the desk.
Sure.
14.
Nothing you can particularly discern. You can pretty much knock out that the candle holder is just a candle holder. It is old, kind of boring. The picture is interesting, the fact that it's the only thing there, but you can't really discern anything from it, and the books appears to just be a mixture of empty books and books with notes in, none of which seem particularly interesting or pertinent.
Mark was doing something.
I was going to, yes, look at the mannequin itself.
Sure. Give me a perception.
And I will do a perception or investigation.
Up to you.
I'll do the investigation because why not? Oh, that'll be a natural 20.
Just a mannequin.
Damn it, what a waste of a natural 20.
No, yeah, it is. There's nothing secret about it, no
It's-
compartments, no bits and pieces. It's just basically just like a glorified coat hanger.
Marvellous. What's the coat like?
It's not great. It's like a trench coat style, long, kind of heavy, that kind of like half suede material.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's kind of old and beaten up.
Ah, okay, won't bother. I'll put it back on the mannequin again.
Sure.
Any look at that desk, Besto?
Nothing.
Did you want to investigate the desk itself as well, or are you happy with just the stuff on top?
I was good to do that, but you go ahead and investigate the desk. I'm going to have a look at the pictures on the walls.
Sure.
So I'm going to investigate the pictures on the walls when they're finished in there.
23.
23. More than enough to notice that on the underside of the desk, there's a small button.
I know what you're going to do.
It could be like a silent alarm, though.
Yeah, it is not a particularly obvious button. It's actually quite difficult to see, but as you get sort of down to the level, you can see at a similar color to the wood, but not exactly matched. Just a small button.
I know what Besto's going to do without even telling
push
it.
You push it. Pesto, from your perspective, nothing happens.
Can I check the drawer that was locked? Like,
It is still locked. as you're pressing that, I will say, Monty, you notice one of the lights on the safe just went green.
I say, maybe it's time. Look, the lights
Pesto,
just
you
went
look
green.
you look over, taking your finger off the
Whoa!
button, and it's not green.
What are you talking
Oh.
about?
That middle light was green for a moment.
Push it again.
It goes green.
It's come on again. It's come on again.
What? Take off.
It goes red again.
Oh, darn, it's
No,
gone.
it's
again.
this button. It's this button.
Ah, well done, that man. So that's 2 of the 3. Marvelous, marvelous. So I'm going to investigate the. Oh, yeah, investigate the picatures on the walls.
Sure.
Do I have to do more than one roll, or is it just one roll for the lot?
What are you specifically looking for? It's quite a bit too general to say, I'll look at pictures.
What I'm
walls.
doing, basically, we're trying to get these safe open. So I'm looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary, anything which is not a boring, ordinary poster or picture. Is there something behind it? Is there something strange about the picture? That kind of thing.
Well, give me a perception then.
Percepzione. That's not how good about that. That is a 22. 22.
22. Very good. Looking around, a lot of the posters and pictures are all kind of boring. There's some scenery stuff. There's some landscape stuff. But you notice as you look around, actually, in terms of the actual pictures, the posters are all different. They're advertising different things. Some of them seem to be old adverts. Some of them seem to be newspaper clippings. But the pictures, a lot of them are just like generic hills or whatever. But there's 2 that you can see that are actually something. One is kind of an old picture that appears to be of a grand clock tower of some kind. And then on the south wall, there is a nice boat in a dock. Those are the only 2 that seem to have anything of note on them.
Interesting. A clock. Time makes it grow. It's on the safe. I'm going to look at the clock more carefully. Is it like a time on it or anything?
It says 3 o'clock.
I take it you can't. The hands don't move or anything. It's just like.
No. It's just a painting.
3 o'clock. And if I go and look at the picture of the boat, are there any numbers on that picture? Like the number on the name of the boat or whatever?
As you look at it, because you'll just run off the old perception. The boat, it's all right. It's not as nice as your boat. But as you look at it on the right hand side of the picture, and sort of these docks, you can see there's a small town hall with a clock above the door. And if you get really close in, you can see reads 9 o'clock.
3 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
So we're looking for 6 o'clock.
Well, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, depending on your point of view. I'm going to go over to the combination thingy. I do 3 and then 9.
You do so.
Nothing happens, correct?
Nothing happens.
In that case, it goes to 30, doesn't it? I'll do 15 and then 21.
Nothing happens.
No. 3, 0, 9, 0. Damn it.
Whilst he's muttering away to himself, you do have 3 keys and.
Yeah, fair
safe with
point.
3 keys.
We might as well open that safe. That's a fair point.
I was going to say Pesto can, but sure. Actually, Pesto probably can't reach it, unfortunately. You can clamber up.
At least at the moment, I'm tall enough so I can reach it.
I shall lift Pesto.
I will get on my hands and knees so Pesto can stand on my back.
Pesto, you have multiple options as to how to
These
get up to
2
this
were
safe.
standing there like NPCs until I was like, I can't reach.
You looked up at the and then you're like, oh, I'm flying! Also, just picks you up.
Listen, there are things we are good at, and there are things that we are not good at.
I am too hot to brain.
You put the keys in the locks. Yeah.
And I turn them.
You turn them.
And then I make sure that they click all the way, and then
Yeah.
I pull the door open, but wait, not too far. Then I pull the door open and look inside.
And then I.
We need a step-by-step analysis here.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure. You know, if you take one step wrong, then it explodes, don't you know?
The
The contents of the small safe. When you crack it open, the interior reveals a velvet-lined tray with a neatly arranged set of iron keys, each one tagged with a small strip of parchment tied through a drilled hole in the shaft.
Ouch.
You have a key marked Confiscated Room B, another one that says Bottom Right Drawer, Ord.Desk, a third that says Front Entry, South Gate, a fourth that says Safe 51, and finally one that is simply labeled Basement Access.
That's a very useful set of keys.
It is, in fact, a key safe.
I'm taking the whole velvet thing.
It's attached on, but you could probably get a knife and take it off. You'd have to clean up the edges later.
I will. What tool?
It's like built into the inside.
What tool would nicely separate that?
Like a thin craft knife, something like that.
Okay.
You know,
All-purpose tool. Craft knife.
becomes like a Stanley knife type thing, and you just sort of work your way around gently. So you end up with what is effectively like a little wooden block with some velvet placed on it, kind of glued down. It's a bit ragged at the edges because you couldn't get a perfect cut, but you can sort that, I'm sure.
I cut out a little hole to put my thumb in as well while carrying it, just while I'm here. Front entry south gate. Was there a gate that we walked through? There was, wasn't there?
But there's that little hatchway thing.
What?
We came in and broke our way into the... Oh, it's probably the one for the door we broke. But when we came into the area with a desk, on the opposite wall, there was a door and there's a little hatch next to it, which was locked.
I don't think that would be considered a gate.
If you're very small, it would. So...
Can I try
Just
the
have
bottom
five guys.
right drawer?
By right drawer, it's got to be the person to go for.
So you're trying the key named bottom right drawer order desk on the bottom right drawer of the desk in this room.
Yes.
Is that the one that's locked?
That is the one that is locked.
Then yeah. I don't know what the fuck odd desk means, but I'm gonna assume if a bottom right drawer is locked and this one says bottom right drawer, it's probably a pretty good bet.
Your smart brain says it probably stands for auditor. You open up the bottom right drawer, or should I say you put the key in, it fits perfectly well, and you unlock
And then I
it.
turn it, and then I pull the drawer,
Yeah, tell me.
and then I look inside of the drawer.
Uh-huh.
Did you check the drawer for
No.
It
electricity?
explodes! No! You see inside a small box, shut with an unsecured lid. Maybe like a notebook size sort of size, obviously thicker because it's a box, but it kind of looks how you like a modern kind of lunchbox, except without the clips on the side. Or like a box that you can get where you put on the lid and clip the sides on to get like a nice seal.
Yeah.
I just open it.
Yeah. You open it and there's just like this puff of like weird blue airborne dusty stuff that just like gets all up in your face. And inside you can see there's an old sandwich that appears to have molded to the point of being one full shade of green. And
Close
that
it.
mold,
Close it.
yeah, the mold is still lingering in the air. You don't have to roll anything. It's just kind of gross.
I'm going to investigate the inside of the drawer, see if there's any sort of hidden compartments.
Sure, give me an investigation.
Now we know it's a man's office, but if they
That's sexist.
if they left that in there but continued to use the drawer, there's something deeply wrong with them.
Unless it was deliberately to put you off, which it probably has.
That
22.
no one thinks.
22. There's nothing else in this drawer.
They've got a locked drawer with a dead sandwich in it.
What happened was they were like, I never used this key. And they just like sat that in there, forgot about it, and it's like, well, I have no reason to use that drawer. Nothing's in there.
That is.
Like having to unlock a drawer that's just a part of your desk every single fucking time must be annoying.
And so you know the DC was 26
26.
to unlock to lockpick it.
Yeah, what did we get? 24? We got
24 was the highest you
24, yeah. So we failed to lockpick the desk drawer with the dead sandwich.
If I had my plus 11 at that point, I would have.
Yeah, but it would have been a higher DC, wouldn't it? Just because I'd have known that you actually could have reached it.
There's no markings on the outside of the box or anything, no.
No, it just appears to be an old box.
Fine. In that case,
I locked the drawer back up.
Sure.
the one that says safe 51.
Yes.
I'm going to try that in the safe with the plate in front of it, or with the
I'm
keyhole.
gonna try and say 62.
You put it into safe 31. The big keyhole, it fits in there perfectly well.
And turn it, and
You turn it, and the light turns green.
so all 3 green lights. Oh,
But when you
actually,
let go, when you let go, it springs back to a locked position.
I go and press the button at the bottom of the desk.
and I stand on the plate, and I turn the key.
Yeah.
And while I've got the key turned, I'll pull the door.
All 3 lights are on. As the heavy safe creaks open,
Hey.
the faint scent of oil and dust spills out. Inside, hunched awkwardly among a tangle of old cloth and leather straps, you see a small metallic figure. It's an automaton of some kind, only about 2 feet tall, with a squat, sturdy build. A pair of tiny tank-like tracks form its base, and from there, a bronze-plated boxy torso rises up. One arm, attached to the right side, ends in a 3-pronged manipulator claw, but the left arm socket remains empty, with wires curled in like dried tendrils. Its head is a smooth metal square, slightly rounded at the edges, with 2 wide black glass lenses dominating the front. Eyes, perhaps, or just sensors. Beneath them is a small grill-like speaker, dull and silent. Idle grill, I don't know why he's laughing that hard. Stamped across a faded label, bolted to the chest, is a designation. TR-51. TR-51. There's no hum of power, there's no flicker of light, just the still, inert weight of it. You see no switches, runes, or clear activation mechanism. Its bronze frame is dulled with age, and faint silver highlights mark its edges, joints catching the light like old mercury. It's not the same shape as Wally. It's more like a small it's like a small version of number 5 is alive. It's got those like tracks at the bottom, then a thin body coming out of it, and then a head at the top.
Okay, fine.
No, Wally has a square body with the tracks attached to it. This is like a plate at the bottom, which is the tracks, and then a body that comes out.
I like this story.
So it's kind of like Rob.
Story. Yes, actually, Rob would be a very good equivalent, except 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
And bronze.
Pesto, have you still got that arm?
Yes, I do. Hello, new friend. I'll go and I'll see why the arm was removed and if I can quickly do something about that.
You have a look over. It's definitely been ripped out. A little bit of fixing would need doing. You'd need some tools that you have back on the ship, but perfectly possible, or in fact, mending. You'd need to, more than that, put the right wires in the right places. It just requires a little bit of extra doing with some solder and stuff. But back on the ship, you'd be perfectly able to attach that arm back up.
I got mending? I don't think I've got mending.
I do have mending, but the wire bit is...
I've got heat metal. I can melt it back on.
Is this thing moving?
No. So it's very heavy as you kind of pull it out, but you can roll it forwards just about. Its tracks seem to have resistance, as though there's like a motor system that is not meant to be pulled without the power on, but you can sort of get it out, and it kind of just goes forwards, and then the head kind of flops, and the one arm just flops, and it stands upright because of the way that it's balanced. But
I'm going to investigate it.
Sure. Hidden
compartment information, whatever might come. Oh, that's not a good roll.
Hey, careful! This is a new friend.
That's why I like having these goggles. That is 19.
It's an automaton. You can't really see anything in particular on it of note, apart from one thing, which we'll get into in a second. But you have no arcane engineering knowledge. The most you have is a vague knowledge of ships. But the one thing you do notice is on the back, there's just like a small square panel. You couldn't see it when it was, inside of the safe, but there's just a small square panel. It appears to be bolted shut with just like the weirdest shaped bolt. Like you don't know where you'd get a tool that would be able to undo that.
All-purpose tool.
So Pesto has the right screwdriver and opens it up. You're looking at it like there's no chance anyone ever has this, and Pesto's like, "Excuse me."
Well, that's we're never going to open that, are we?
Coming with the full set of Allen wrenches.
Over to you, Pesto.
You open up the small square panel. It hinges open, and inside is a very simple-looking panel. There's a little black square, which is just flat and plain. There's a couple of buttons, 3 in total, 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue. And to the left of it is a circle of indentations, quite small indentations.
Are they the same size as the emeralds we have?
About the same size, yeah.
If we try and put the emeralds in, but does it work?
You put the first emerald in, and it feels a little bit staticky, like there's some power in there. You put the second one in, that's a little bit more statically, like there's a bit more power in there. You put the third one in, okay, that one actually shocked you, but it didn't do any damage. You're gonna keep going?
Pesto, do you have any insulated gloves or anything like that?
What do you need to keep warm, Captain? I can keep you warm if you want.
That's very kind, Ozzy. Yeah, I'll bear that in mind. While I get my mage hand going and pick up the fourth gem and try and put that in.
Yeah, you put in the next one. There's this significant, but doesn't affect the mage hand.
Excellent. I'll keep going round. Stand back, wait for any sparks of electricity.
Sure, about 30 feet away.
Hide behind the desk.
Yeah, you get them all in. And on the last one, that little black panel lights almost like what's the proper term? Like a heartbeat. What's the proper term for one of those?
A pulse.
EKG.
No, not like EKG.
EKG?
You know, the display.
Isn't it ECG?
Whatever. One of those displays.
One of them display things. I get it.
That goes beep.
It doesn't make an audible beep, but it does start doing like a single heartbeat. Sort of regular.
Does the robot sort of react at all?
No.
You said there were 3 buttons, didn't you? Red, green, and blue.
There are 3 buttons, yes.
I'm using my mage hand because I don't trust this thing. I'm going to press the red button.
You do so.
It blows up.
The heartbeat stops.
Oh,
You killed it!
I'm going to press the green button.
How dare you?
The heartbeat starts.
I'm going to press the blue button.
There's a sound as it starts to stand up straight, and there's lots of like noises as it's evidently trying to like calibrate. The top spins around, the head spins around, the arm spins around, the nub spins around, until eventually these big lenses sort of gently glow, and then a little like
I'm looking right into his face.
a little white dot just appears in the middle of both of them. And
wow.
you're right up against it, and it audibly, with a sort of robotic voice, just goes,
Ah!
and then it seems to pause for a second, stand up straight, and go, I mean, power starting.
Are you too sentient for them? Was that the issue?
Negative.
Can I make an insight check?
Do you need to?
No.
But make one anyway. Go on. See if you roll
Okay.
low.
Yeah, let's see if 6.
Nah, it was probably just like a weird starting up thing. This thing is just a robot. It's got nothing to it.
Hello, robot. My name's Monty. What's your name?
It's nice to meet you. I'm TR50. I mean, designation TR51.
It's all right. We're friends. You can talk to us.
It seems to be glitching. Maybe we should turn it off and on again.
Please don't.
What does the TNR stand for?
The naughty robot.
What? Where did the end go?
TNR.
No, TR.
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 Oh! I heard
Yeah.
TNR. The naughty robot.
It's sort of just pauses and it's just like designation TR51.
Yeah, what does the TR stand for, old chap?
The robot.
Designation.
Is it just the robot?
You don't know. It appears to not know.
I say, robot chappy. You don't know how to open this safe.
That's a different
do you?
robot. Chappie's a different robot.
Chappy.
Chippy?
I'm
No,
pointing
please
at the
don't
one
turn me off.
I'm pointing at the one with the dial, with the combination.
It turns around and goes, this appears to be a dial lock.
Yes, thank you for
So
that.
can you
Yes.
talk normally for us,
I'm going to
please?
call you Ozzy too, if that's all
No,
right.
absolutely not.
But I'm Aussie as
I
well.
think
Affirmative.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Hey, buddy, do you want to be a pirate?
There's like a pause, and you can see like loading circles appear in the eyes. Information not understood.
Well, I tell you what,
Hey, do you want to
That's
live
okay, we
with
can.
us?
would you like
Do you
to?
want to join our crew?
Yes,
Do you want to have a family?
would you like to come with us? Since you seem to be stuck in a safe here, which isn't. I imagine.
Were you hitting on the robot?
Yeah. you want to get married? Do you want to pop out of the
Just starts slowly backing away from
Don't worry, Tia. You'll get used to them. I promise. They're good people.
Are we though?
Yes, I think so. Underneath it all,
Am I being stolen?
I don't need if you want to.
You're being liberated.
Yes. You can go wherever you wish. But if you come back with us, we'll try and fix your arm. If you come back with us.
And yeah, I was going to say,
we
well,
will
you
fix
could
you
leave.
Just turns to the side, and then this little nub just kind of like wiggles up and down. It's like, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
I do have the other one. I just need to get back to my ship. I've got better tools there.
My arm just gives me like a little gimme grab with the. with
Sure. Yeah,
Just takes it
keep
off
that
you.
safe.
And then just like puts it in place and lets go, and it just falls on the ground.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Oh, poor chap. I say, do you know why you were locked in a safe at all?
There's another pause with a loading symbol, and then it's just too sentient, too stupid.
Oh dear.
I mean,
Yes.
same. I feel that. Do you want to live with us?
Or a
think you-
t-shirt.
I think you'll fit in perfectly, dear boy.
Yeah, you'd be brilliant with us.
At the moment, we're trying to find. Well, never mind.
Sees Pumpkin, just tries to point with the arm that isn't there, and then points to the other one. It's just like, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pet.
actually.
Pet, not dog, but pet.
Just a little fist bump. And they said I wasn't smart.
Tiny metal robot. Do you consider yourself to be property? Do you have an owner?
Maybe.
Who
Do
would
you want
that
to
be?
live with us on the water?
Water is bad for my circuits.
Well, no, we're in a boat, so no water.
No,
will
we
get
are
on us.
in an office.
No. We live in a boat.
I live in a safe.
Do you want to live in a boat?
Would you like to come with us, TR, or would you like to stay here?
You are my new child.
Just looks around the room. It's like, it's a bit boring in here.
Yes. Come. You know what? Follow us,
Come with us, and
and
then
we just.
Oh!
I just start walking.
You might get along with my toys here. And I'd just have 4 of them
They just
climb
look
along.
up, and Tia looks down and is just like, strange dogs.
Yeah.
oh,
They climb
Very
along.
strange dogs.
Fluffy dog. Dog in boat.
what time is it?
Lying
now?
dog. What time is it? Oh, I know what you're asking.
Time for you to get an in-game watch.
No. I mean, I have got an in-game watch because I'm very keen to know what time it is, and I would know what's coming.
Captain Monty, Simon de Montfort Smith.
Yes.
Feel a little off balance. That's weird. You're a little taller? No, you couldn't be. Feel a little bit more stable. Stable.
Oh no!
Stable.
Or you're not. No.
Nay.
Have I got more legs than I used to have?
You do have more legs than you used to have, yes.
Fuck.
You are a centaur.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to get down the stairs, my dude?
Tia looks over and is just like, oh. Half dog.
Ah, bother!
Oh, please, can TR join us?
Can we keep
Yes.
them?
Please.
Only if
Yay!
you want to. All right. In the meantime,
But Dad, I want to keep him.
we've got one at home.
No, I want this one.
Captain, should we be worried? Have you ever turned into an insect before?
I don't know. No, probably not actually. It's only been happening for a couple of months.
I mean,
Why is-
you've got 6 limbs,
Oh, I see.
aren't you an insect?
No, I am in fact, I believe, a centaur.
I'll tell you what, he's trying to be the centaur of attention.
No, but really, how are we going to get you
Okay.
down the stairs?
Out the window. Or to the wall.
I'm sure I can get that. I can
He'll
still-
find a way past though. No one could accuse him of being cowardly now that he's got
Actually-
2 spines.
I can. Yeah,
Or is it one long
I can-
spine?
one long bent spine? I'm going to hover down the stairs, but in the meantime,
But he's not a dog.
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 we need to go and check the basement out.
Basement.
We've got a key here for the basement.
Yeah, do you know anything about the basement?
No.
Okay, are you able to navigate stairs?
What are your capabilities, TR?
Capabilities. Just like rolls forwards, then rolls backwards, and then spins on the spot.
Oh my god, that's
Perfect.
such cool.
And then puts one hand in the air and claps, and then goes to put the other hand in the air, and then look and
Somebody claps for him.
You'll be a great ship assistant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can teach you to kill a man by those actions.
You said, can you navigate the stairs? And he just looks over at the stairs, is like, my biggest failing, stairs.
No. Okay.
I will attempt.
Oh no. No. Please don't just.
Are you going to stop him?
Yeah.
You stop and he's like, oh.
I don't want to see you get hurt and lose your other arm.
Friend.
Yeah, friend.
Exactly.
I can help you down. In a little bit.
Why don't you stay here, dear boy, with me? Because
Okay.
I'm going to struggle with stairs as well. And
That's just because of your age.
Lulu and Pesto,
Captain,
you
aren't
head
you
down
more
and
of a
check
dear boy now?
out, more like a bit.
Horse boy.
I'm a little horse. I'm sorry.
That was not funny.
TR wiggles their stump, looks at it, goes, aw, gets the other hand, salutes, and says, I will stay with Half Dog.
That's very
Wonderful.
Which one?
kind.
Points.
Do they take their other arm and salute with that?
No, they go to point with their stub, then just pick up the arm and point with that.
A very, very
Oh,
Toy
dear.
Story moment with Buzz. Just go
Yep.
the arm.
Oh my. Do chaps want to go downstairs and check out the?
Yeah.
I would, but
Give
I'm
me a
not a
shout.
chap.
And chapesses. And
Thank you.
chap. I mean, chap
Chappy.
is a generic term in my case.
Chapesses, and chappy.
Chappy, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
no chap isn't chappy.
But if you'd like to pop down and check out the basement
I'll
before
hop down to the
guards come back.
Basamente.
Monday.
Our numbers are growing by the minute.
We are surrounded by friends. It's lovely.
I do not grow.
Neither do I.
Oh, well, that rules you out from the other chest there. Or safe.
That's right.
Yeah, you continue thinking about that safe.
That's a good idea. I'll talk to Chappy about the
Well,
about the safe.
maybe we can update his processor or something.
Just like rolls over to the safe, reaches up an arm, and can just about reach the knob, and then just starts rotating their hand at the wrist, so the safe dial just goes just round in circles.
Yes, you
You
keep
can
trying.
turn things so good. Oh my god.
I am helpful.
Yes,
Yes.
you are certainly trying to be helpful. I'm going to go back to the desk and look at that picture of the little girl. Because
Sure, but they go into the basement
you
first. So we
start
should do that.
Yes.
small, and then time makes you grow. So.
You go down the base. Well, I presume down the stairs.
Yes.
This little hallway that you went to before.
Yes.
In front of you, there's a door with a lock.
I take the key labeled basement access and I put that in the lock. I turn the key.
It doesn't turn.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. It unlocks the door.
So I turn the door handle. I push the
Hit the door
door.
hand. It's that. It's that.
Two adults.
I thought you were gonna say it's a pool door.
There's no pool in here. You open the door. Opening the door, you enter into a stone chamber that smells strongly of earth and cold metal. The room is lit by 4 blue glyphs etched high into the walls, and thick shelving on the south wall holds sealed boxes, rolled scrolls, and a handful of larger items under canvas wraps. Sitting against the eastern wall are a set of crates and barrels, most of which appear to be empty, only 2 of which are actually filled with anything. One, a crate filled with sand, maybe, and the other a barrel filled with some kind of grey powder. Near the western wall, a large iron lockbox, 3 feet tall, sits on the ground, humming faintly. Not humming like machinery, humming like a person. A faint, unrecognizable tune. It seems to have a hinge that would open it on the top, and is locked by a large metal padlock with no discernible way of opening it. Or should I say unlocking it, no keyhole in the padlock.
What can you see, chaps? And chapesses.
As you look at the lockbox, you can't help but get a feeling, like a word on the tip of your tongue, like there's something inside that you need. In the southwestern corner, in front of one of the shelves, you spot a suspiciously clean patch of floor, odd in a room layered with dust.
Holy. So the humming box makes me
Yes.
think that there's a word that I need to say.
Doesn't make you think there's a word. It's like when you have a word on the tip of your tongue where you're like, this, it's almost there, but instead of it being a word, it's more like a feeling of there's something in there, but you just don't quite know what it is.
So if I just go up to it and say ledger, what happens?
Nothing.
Immovable dagger.
What are you doing with the immovable dagger? You can't just say immovable dagger.
I was literally just saying immovable dagger because in the front of the place it said magic items must be declared, so I was declaring a magic item.
Oh, I see. Nothing happens. It continues to hum.
Cherry pie.
What tune is it humming? I say the name.
Give me a history.
Cool.
See if you can recognize that tune.
18.
It's not really a tune of any kind. It doesn't stay in tune. It doesn't repeat or have any kind of phrases like music would. It just seems to be someone who's just kind of like randomly humming.
Hello there.
It doesn't answer. You just keeps humming.
Can I check out the panel that is mysteriously absent of dust?
Sure, but to clarify, it is not a panel. There is just a clean patch of floor.
Well, yeah.
You can investigate it. No, I'm just making sure you understand what you're looking at.
Have we considered the floor's motivation? Maybe then we can find out, what its goals are.
It's 22.
22. Weirdly, it's just floor. There's no seams, no hinges, nothing. Like, it's like there was a crate there, but it ain't anymore. But that's it.
I don't like this room. It's weird.
How's it going, chaps?
It's going weird.
Yes, that sounds about right. Chappie, have you ever been down into the basement of this building?
I presume you're talking to TR-51.
Chappie, I'm calling him Chappie.
I know, when you say Chappie, it absolutely doesn't react, just keeps spinning the dial.
TR-51.
Head spins around on the spot, just looks at you, still spinning the dial.
You can stop spinning now, thank you. That's very, very kind.
Immediately stops, still holding onto the dial.
Have you ever been down into the basement of this building?
No.
Do you know what building we're in?
No.
Yes. What's the last thing you remember before being put in the safe?
Basement.
Okay. And what was in the basement where you were before you were put in the safe?
There was a robot, and there was a bench, and there was a spanner, and there was a hammer. And
Okay.
there was cogs.
You can stop now. Would I be right in saying this was the basement where you were created?
I don't know. Would you be right?
You have to tell me. Am I right in saying that?
I don't know. Are you right in saying that?
Was it the basement where you were created?
Was what the basement where I was created?
The last place you remember before you were put in the safe?
Oh, I have no idea.
Wait here. Do not try and come down the stairs until I or one of my friends comes to get you.
Yes, half dog.
Call me Monty.
Yes, half dog Monty.
Half dog Monty. Fine.
I like that nickname.
I'm going to go down the stairs.
Are you?
It's going to be awkward because
it's one of those scenes where the camera starts with you at the top of the stairs, then it cuts to the bottom of the stairs where you've just managed to make it the whole way down. Not even you're quite sure how you did that.
Exactly. Because I'm not actually.
Exactly.
A sort of.
But for the rest of you, the captain's just like in the doorway.
Yo.
Hello, chaps.
How did?
It's something to do with this peculiar condition I have. I honestly don't know.
You become stranger by the minute.
No, just me. Just me. just with a few more legs is all.
But do you have more legs?
You see this safe, or the lockbox, sorry.
Oh. Since I know music, I'm going to get my lute out and try and play along.
You can't. It doesn't follow a tune long enough to be able to match it. By the time you're matching a tune, it's already moved to some other random set of humming.
May I investigate the crates that are opened?
You may. So to go back.
One sandy, one like a gray dust.
So yes, there's only 2 things that are filled. One is a crate, and the other is a barrel. Which one are you investigating?
Okay, individually, the barrel.
Barrel with the greyish powder inside. Roller, roly.
21.
Gunpowder.
Crate is 12.
So, probably sand. Like, it has the consistency of sand. It looks like sand. It's rough in its course. It gets everywhere. Like, it's pretty much sand.
I'm going to investigate the sandy one, but not to see what the stuff is, but to see if there's anything inside the sand.
Sure.
That was a really poor... Oh, no, I keep forgetting. I've got 2 rolls. That's marginally better. 13.
How messy are you getting? Spilling it all over the floor, or just trying to be a bit more subtle about it? Because it's quite hard to dig through sand, but if you're digging out the...
I'll dig as far as I can, and if I can't get any further, I'll start jumping.
I think you wouldn't get too far without removing material. Sand is very dense in a box like that.
I think we've gone past worrying about not leaving a trace that we're here.
Sure. So you just start sprinkling this all over the floor. How far do you go down? It would take quite a while. It's a large-ish crate.
I don't know. I would imagine if there's anything important, it'd be up to about, say, halfway.
Yeah, it takes a while. So you start digging away, maybe 10 minutes or so, but you don't find anything in that time.
Okay.
Well, you find a mess. Sand all over the floor.
So we have sand, we have gunpowder. We could try and blow the safe open, I suppose. But
Give me a perception. Pesto as well, you're over there.
Perception.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
7.
The 7, you're just too distracted. There's some sand gets in your eye. Ow, ow. And then you get that sand gets in your teeth, and you can feel it between your teeth.
It's behind my mask. I don't want to take my mask off, so I'm going.
Pesto, you notice whilst the captain's being the captain, the sand hits the ground. Fine, whatever. Oh, he's making a mess. But weirdly, the little smaller patches that land near the base, it's almost as though there's a breeze coming from somewhere as some of the individual grains start shifting away from the crate. Only a little bit, not some massive breezes moving them along. And by the time you kind of really notice, there's more sand piling on top, and it's too much sand for any sort of noticeable movement. But it was just when there was a thin layer.
Beneath the crate?
So when it hits the base, around the base of the crate, that's kind of when it started shifting. So closer to the actual base of the crate. But like I said, it kind of the sand pulls down and.
Hey, let's try to move that crate.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm very.
Where do you want it moving to?
Right behind you.
Just may as well move it to that empty spot in the middle of the floor.
I shall do so.
Yes.
Athletics.
If you can do acrobatics, I can do.
May I assist with my measly raccoon strength?
You can assist in spirit.
Oh, but I have proficiency in athletics.
I got the very high and mighty. I want to say that's a 5.
Pesto gets involved,
I think there's something in the bottom of this, underneath all of this fucking sand.
Oh dear.
You get advantage because
fucking
Pesto's
bricks
helping
and stuff in
somehow.
Pesto's stronger than he look, or stronger than they look.
I'm impressed.
I feel like I'm going to try and say this a third time. You get advantage because Pesto's helping.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had said that wouldn't happen. Okay, well that's a 10.
You don't help much.
Can I help?
You can roll your own.
Okay, here we go,
Athletics.
chaps. Athletics.
Yeah.
That is better than strength, but not by much.
You've already done your help action on this.
Can I help?
You can.
Come on, Nunu, we can do this.
What the fuck am I rolling?
Nothing.
Good.
19.
Ozzy, you're pushing, and it seems unable to be moved, and then magically it just starts moving. The captain seems to be moving it.
There's something fucking weird up with this barrel.
It's a crate. That's what's weird.
I thought it was barrel.
Yeah, but I'm from ships. It's all barrels. Barrels all the way down.
Where are you pushing it to?
We'll push it to the space where the space is on the floor.
Sure, you do so.
Is there anything beneath the crate?
So the sand that's left behind, if it scatters into the space where it was.
It doesn't scatter into a space. There is now just a square where the thing was.
Sorry, I thought this was a barrel of sand.
It was a crate of sand. Yes, you
Crate
took
of
a lot of the sand out, and a little bit sort of moved as though there was a breeze. But now it's just piles of sand that were around a crate, a square shape, which has been broken by you dragging the crate through the sand.
I will take a handful of the sand and sprinkle it into the now empty space where the crate used to be.
It seems to shift a little bit, but just barely.
Which way?
Random directions.
Can I investigate and see if it's a trap door or some shit?
You can.
Dirty 20.
There's a trapdoor.
Oh. Well done, Bester.
Is there a lock or anything, or is it just a pop it open?
Just a trapdoor. You can open it if you wish.
I would like to open it. I wish to open it.
Sure, it's quite heavy because it's got like a stone facade on the top.
I am athletic.
You do manage to get it open, and it appears to just be like an empty cavity, not particularly deep, maybe a foot.
There's a foot! Oh, I see what you mean.
Check for a door at the bottom of it.
There a door at the bottom?
Roll to find a door at the bottom of the door. Or trap.
16.
Doesn't appear to be.
That means it's invisible. It doesn't appear.
I will use my rapier and poke the floor at the bottom.
Bing, bing, bing.
So I look around the inside. I'm going to investigate the cavity, basically, see if there's anything
Sure.
hidden inside there. That is 18.
It's kind of a cavity. Nothing in there.
Okay, I'm going to look around the floor.
It can't be an empty fucking cavity because there was fucking wind coming from here.
I'm going to look around.
I'm going to fucking lose it. I'm about to crash out. I'm about to do it.
I'm looking at the around near where
I'm going to fireball the fucking hole.
where the hug. I'm looking at the around the area around the hole, see if there are any more trapdoors or anything like that.
Sure.
Oh God! With my advantage, I managed to get a lofty 2, making 5.
5. No.
I'm going to tap on the floor anyway.
Yeah, it's just stone around here.
I'm going to put some of the sand in the hole.
You put sand in the hole.
I'm going to put some of the gunpowder in the hole.
You put gunpowder in the hole.
I'm going to throw a match in.
Okay. You light a match and throw it in, and there's this.
There's some gas left over.
It would just
I mean, I guess yes, sort of.
but I don't think I'm getting any further with that one. Pesto, can you do your magical thing?
Do I need to do it up
Do
and
your
again?
checking for magical.
I don't know. Let's just say you have. It doesn't appear to be magical inside of this trapdoor.
What about the safe?
The lockbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing seems to have a sort of enchantment to it.
It's humming. I'll hum back at it.
You indeed do so.
I'm going to try and copy it, in fact.
You do your best, kind of doing like a call and response, but nothing appears to happen.
Okay. Ozzy, can you break that lock on that box over there?
I can certainly try. I shall get out my adamantine pick.
It's
And
magical.
how about-
It doesn't break magical things.
Yeah, the pick doesn't appear to be very effectual. Nothing appears to happen.
Okay.
I don't think it's working, Captain.
All right. Thank you for trying. I'm going to go investigate the shelves. I'm investigating the shelf. Do not roll a 1 followed by 2.
Very.
A 4
Fucking weird.
followed by a 12. That's better, but not much better.
A 12.
No. 15.
A 15? That's fine. Nothing's particularly hidden on here. You just have to look through. You find 3 confiscated letters with cryptic symbols from presumably some old, unknown, I've put cult, but cults or history of some kind. 1 potion that is labeled Potion of Mind Reading. one section of what appears to be an infernal contract, but of course don't have enough to properly decipher any of that. And one, I'm going to take away some of this. What appears to be just a little medallion, but with your keen magical eyes, Pesto, you would note that it is slightly magical. You're going to say, what magic? Illusion.
What item is this? A pendant?
A little medallion.
Is there an image on the medallion?
Nothing specific. It appears to just be like nice looking like patterns.
The letters, can we read them at all?
The letters, no, it's not a language that you recognize.
The medallion.
I have a comprehend languages thing.
You do?
I do. Which means I think I can do that at will. Yes. Tumrit Shard is comprehend languages at will.
Wonderful. Unfortunately, these letters aren't will. So no. They just appear to be instructions to like old sacrificial. What would be the word? Instructions. Part of them. It's not entire scripts. Nothing that appears to have any magical effect. Just like weird, like sacrifice a goat and like put a bat wing in a pot and then cover it in milk. It's just weird instructions.
Can I start identifying the medallion?
You can.
I shall.
This potion of potentially mind reading, we could, it's a long shot, but we might be able to communicate with this box as it seems to be vaguely sentient. I say box, can you understand me?
Doesn't react.
Open.
Sesame.
Doesn't react.
Melon.
Bowls.
I shall tap on the box.
You do so. Ding ding.
Come in.
Can I pick the box up?
No. Heavy lockbox, 3 feet tall. 3 feet tall, slightly wider than that.
I'm going to examine the locking mechanism. Is it just a featureless padlock, basically?
If you can roll an investigation if you wish.
No, I might as well. Jordan Bennett, 12.
It looks exactly like a big thick padlock, but there's no
Keyhole.
lock part. There's no keyhole. There's nothing on it. No numbers, no symbols. It's just the padlocky part. But when you wiggle it, it does wiggle as though it would open.
Yeah, I get you. So we've got gunpowder, we've got sand, we've got a hole in the floor for no particular reason.
That must have more to it. Because
Yes.
there was air. And
There
that's
was air
impossible.
Exactly. So there's some breeze from somewhere.
Says the raccoon humanoid to the centaur.
And meanwhile, I imagine that the identifier has finished identifying by now.
If you wait around for 10 minutes, it's been like 30 seconds. You're welcome to wait around and skip to that point, but you know.
But I'm going to go back and have another look at this hole. I'm going to just step my front feet into it.
Yep.
What if Ozzy starts smashing up the walls down there?
I mean, I can do that if you'd like.
They didn't look magical.
Yeah, it's only a foot deep, but you could use the pickaxe on it. It would be a bit awkward, but you could get some effect to it.
Right, am I heaving too?
Well, I mean, if you can break that stone at the bottom of this hatch, maybe.
I can try.
You start cracking away at that. About 10 minutes later, 2 things have happened. 1, your identifier has finished. This is called the Whispering Medallion. You discover it is indeed mildly sentient, and it whispers random shopping lists to the wearer.
That, I have to say, is useless. Okay.
Well, if you want a shopping list.
Well, usually I'd come up with my own shopping list.
There's usually a purpose to a shopping list, but if they're just random items, I can't imagine that there's...
So if it's whispering a shopping list to me...
Are you wearing it? What did you say, Purdy?
Or if it... I don't know.
Okay. Are you wearing it, Monty?
I'll wear it.
Sure, you put it on. Just vaguely, from like a non-source, you just hear something that's just like sprouts, carrots, beetroot, peas.
The flesh of the elder.
So, Pastor,
it's just going through a shopping list.
you could try saying the words it's saying to the lockbox, I suppose.
Sure.
You're just going to repeat what it's saying?
Yeah.
It's a rather mad scene, but nothing happens.
What
Okay.
is it saying again?
Just random shopping lists.
Sprouts, beans,
Like what?
Oreos,
Literally anything. It starts with like the food and then
cakes,
goes through to like household items and then
asparagus,
stuff from like
toiletries.
just random. It literally just wavers around. It doesn't seem to. It like holds onto a theme for maybe 5 seconds at most, and then just sort of vaguely moves on to something else.
Damn, doing better than my ADHD.
It never stops. Just keeps on whispering. And it is very quiet as well, just like randomly around. I'm saying it a bit louder for the podcast, but it really is just like a whisper.
Another gift for Rock Mom.
Well, you could try putting it on the box. What else we've got? We've got this post of mind reading. Hello, box. Stop humming. Open up, please, box.
The lock pops open.
What?
Yeah, you must have said something that you didn't before.
Please. I said please. I said open sesame before. I said open please this time. And it opened.
The humming stops. And the lock pops open. For the podcast, Rowan just got up.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is inside the very polite box?
I'm going to assume Rowan can still hear. Inside,
Inside.
you find a scroll labeled a scroll of protection. You find one large black coin and a key that is labeled Key C.
You see, that's odd because we have 3 keys now, but we haven't opened up one of the safes upstairs.
You said the last thing.
Sorry, I did skip over ago. You said you were going to look at that picture on the desk, but I'll wait till you get
Yeah.
back
Oh,
up
yeah,
there if
yeah,
you're gonna do that.
Well, as far as I could tell, we have 3 keys now, I think, because we found confiscated room B upstairs. This is C, and we already had one. So if we go back to the room 4, I seem to have lost myself. Where am I?
The Corridor.
We still haven't found this ledger, have we?
We haven't found the ledger yet, but it'd probably be inside room 6, which we haven't opened yet. Hello again.
Hi.
You see, I knew being polite would count one day.
I'm surprised it wasn't fast enough. You always ask doors and locks to open nicely.
And I did, but it just took me a long time to get there. I can't believe that word. I can't.
And I'm glad I'm recording because I need to go grab that little clip of your face when I just said the lock pops open.
Oh dear. And if you want to see that clip, right now, chaps, here's a little conundrum.
Yeah.
I think we have the 3 keys for the triangular door to the.
Do we?
Well, we found confiscated room B upstairs in the key safe.
Yeah.
This one says C, and we already had one. That's 3.
Did we
haven't
already
yet.
have one?
Yeah. We tried that earlier, and it fitted in one of the 3 locks. So the question is, what's in that other safe? And how do you open it?
I don't know.
Just before we use the 3 keys, I'm going to get back up to room 6.
You go back up. TR51 is waiting.
Hey, TR.
Hello, TR.
Hello.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to have a little look at the picture because the clue was you start small in time, something like that. Time makes us grow. So it could go from the small clock to the big clock. But I'm going to look at the little girl in the picture because that's starting small.
Sure, give me a perception.
Perception. Okay. That is 14.
Don't know. You can't really see anything on the picture.
Anybody? This picture. I'm convinced it's got something to do with this safe puzzle.
I've already looked at it. I didn't see anything.
Who's good at perceptivizing? Ozzy.
So I'm still down in the hole. Did you need me?
Yeah. Come back up, Ozzy. Thank you.
Oh, did you find anything in the hole?
I'm going to assume not.
I completely forgot about that. No, in fact, actually, it makes sense. You've just been digging. You've just been going. You went through like a stone bottom into like rock floor, and you just kept digging, and it's just rock. Just rock.
Where
Found rock.
did the breeze come from, Alex?
We have yet to determine. I don't believe we've seen the last.
I mean, we've already fought an invisible thing that's windy, so
It's just a really small one of those.
Why would
You hand the picture to TR. It stares at it, and it goes, "Picture."
Picture. Thank you. I had a feeling.
Good job.
Hands it back to you. I have helped.
You have tried your best.
I have succeeded.
Ozzy, any thoughts?
did you say any regrets?
No, I said
I
any-
mean, I suppose I have a few regrets, but I try to live without them.
I have a few. But then again. And now I was saying any thoughts, Ozzy, because this picture, I'm convinced it's to do with...
Head empty.
Pardon?
No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty. And no, you can have a look as well and see if you can see anything on this picture.
Too sentient, too stupid. That one's
Sorry.
gonna live on forever. I need you to know.
Sentient.
We
You're
have
stupid.
had 3 pictures of note. One of them we investigated, which was the one of the little girl, and we're told that there was nothing remarkable about it. The other one was of a boat on a dock, and the other one was of a clock tower. Yes.
Yes, it's the picture of the girl I'm focusing on at the moment. But I've just investigated.
I think we already looked at that last week, and we're told that we didn't find anything. Like, we even looked inside on the back of the photo, and there wasn't anything.
Yeah, I specified if you're looking at the frame or the photo, and you looked at the frame.
We also
Right.
said about looking at the back of the photo, and you said that there wasn't anything.
Yeah, the back of the photo, there's nothing.
Is there, I'm going to make a more specific question. Is there a clock anywhere in the picture of the little girl?
You've already done your perception on it, so it would have come up in that if you were to.
I shall perceive all 3, if I may,
Sure.
because I've got 8 eyes that can look at stuff.
I bet our navigator would be pretty good at that too.
I have rolled very badly today, but that is a 12.
I mean, you noticed the stuff that was already noticed on 2 of them. You know, the clock tower has a clock. It says 3 o'clock. There's also a clock on on the picture of a boat. It's just on the right hand side. There's a town hall. There's a clock. It says 9 o'clock. You don't really see anything in addition to what has already been discovered. Pesto, you can still perceive.
I already had.
You haven't perceived the photo. You perceived the frame. That's why I was very specific about it.
Okay.
I suck at perceiving, so I'd have to roll real lucky. Oh, a natural 1. Good.
You're convinced.
Can I?
There's something written on the back if you put it in the right lighting.
Since I perceived last time, can I investigate instead?
Fine. But only you.
I'm going to put my goggles on. That is better, finally. That isn't. So that's 19.
19.
It's my best
It's
offer.
only just good enough. You put on your goggles and they magnify. You know, one of those where you your eyes look massive from the outside. It's a very small picture of a small girl who's wearing a watch.
What time?
12 o'clock.
So there's 12, then it was 9 for the next smallest, and then 3 of the next the biggest. So that'll be, I'll try that. 12, 9, 3.
Does not unlock.
I'll try 12, 15, 21.
It does not unlock.
I'm going to try various combinations of 12s, 0s, 9s, and 3s.
12s, 0s, 9s, and 3s. Nothing works.
And I'm going to try 12, 9, and 3 in the different combinations, which is 12, 9, 3, 12, 3, 9, 3, 9, 12.
Just there for ages. Eventually, you get round to 3, 9, 12. The number's getting larger. And it unlocks.
Sounds cool. Bigger. As you said that, I thought they're getting larger, aren't they? I was thinking the clock's getting larger, but it's the numbers.
I hadn't even thought about the clocks getting larger, and when you said it, I was like, oh, we're going to go down a path. 3, 9, 12. It opens.
Click. Yay!
As you swing open the heavy iron door of the safe, you are greeted not by treasure, but rows of neatly shelved ledgers, their spines all marked in tidy handwriting. The interior looks more like a bookcase crammed into a vault than anything else, with 3 horizontal shelves running top to bottom, each filled neatly end to end. Each ledger is labelled with a specific month and year, going back... I've said decades, but I don't actually know if that would be enough for decades. Going back as long as many would be in there. They're heavy, thick-bound books with cracked leather covers and yellowing pages that smell faintly of parchment and damp stone. Do you take any out?
Yoink.
Look at the newest one.
Look at the newest one. Flipping through this one reveals detailed entries of items moved in and out of the confiscated storage downstairs. Every item logged, dated, and signed. You notice references to bizarre magical-sounding objects, some crossed out, marked claimed, transferred, or in some cases simply missing. There's a bureaucratic coldness to the writing. No value assessments, no commentary, just long, tidy lists of confiscated goods.
I'm taking them all.
You're taking them all? There's a lot of books.
Yep.
Probably...
Just shoveling them into the bag of holding.
Oh my lord.
Do they all have a badger on them?
None of them have a badger sigil on them, no.
None of them have a badger sigil.
Before Pesto takes away the latest one, I'm looking backwards from the latest entry, looking for anything about this journal we're looking for.
It's just in the current one. There is a note of a ledger with a badger sigil.
And does it say there's any code against it or anything about any information against it, or does it just say it's there?
No, I mean, it literally just has they all have item numbers, but that doesn't appear to mean much. It's just counting upwards. You're on number, 12,436. And then the name of the item, if it has a name, a description, and then the date it was logged, which was a few days ago.
Kind of interesting. In the last few entries, do any particularly interesting items catch my eye?
Well, there's quite a few interesting items. And I could go through some of them, but to sort of pull back that curtain a little, you would have found less in the room had you not found the ledger.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I
Because now you have an item list.
Yeah.
I'm taking them all simply because I know an auditor losing their records like that will drive them fucking insane.
Oh.
We have
You hear a little voice behind you that just goes, "Books."
Very good, TR.
Well done, TR.
Thank
Well
you.
done. You're getting the hang. I'm just wondering why you hated the person who works here so much when we have never even met them.
The person that works here put me in a safe.
Take the books.
Yeah, damn right.
Fuck the patriarchy.
Right. Let's try these 3 keys out then. We'll head down.
I heard "fuck's sake, turkey." Anyone else?
She said fuck the patriarchy.
Right.
Ah.
It's are you naming this thing Turkey? Or what?
All right, on to the big final room.
Onto the room.
You head down to, either of the doors, to be honest. The keys that you have, the first one, the one labeled B, the one labeled C, they fit in nicely to...
We turn them all.
Yeah, these ones, they turn individually and that all works. You don't need any kind of complex unlocking.
We open the door.
You find... You open the door.
We've
Yeah.
got it, the boom!
This long, cluttered room smells strongly of dust, old wood, and metal. It's 30 feet by 20 feet. Metal shelving units are placed against the walls and in the middle of the room like a grid, reaching halfway up to the ceiling and crammed with crates, satchels, scroll cases, and strange bundles tied with twine. There are lots of interesting and odd things going on in here. A glowing shelf, a single shelving unit that appears to have been scorched, a steel cage housing a small crystalline orb that hums softly, and much, much more. There are no windows in here for obvious reasons, just the flickering light of wall-mounted magical lamps with dancing flames that makes the shadows of the room move with ominous ferocity. There are only 2 doors in this room, the first, the one you came through, and the second, the other 3-locked door.
No.
There are. You don't have to do any rolls or anything because you have a lovely ledger with lots of things. So, I have a list of general items and a list of what I have put as notable items.
Mm.
So I will tell you and paste as usual. So, the general items. Many broken weapons of all kinds, non-magical. Many spell scroll fragments, mostly torn or illegible. Many pouches and satchels of minor spell components. Ledgers and books from lots of different businesses and companies. Low quality fake gold coins, about 2,000 gold's worth. I've put on it when I paste it to you the perception check that other people would have to roll to see that they're fake, but
I'll
they
take
are.
The fake gold coins.
Well, I'll post it all to you. You can decide afterwards. High quality fake gold coins, 1,000. Extremely high quality.
So high quality that they're real.
Fake gold coins, 200. And again, I put the perception check to see if they are, and the comparative gold worth, which is slightly less than the gold, obviously, because you want to spend less to make more. A thing that's named Little Steve. It's a tiny doll which has a small hole in its mouth that when you press your finger into its back, it makes an over-exaggerated sound and spits a tiny handful of confetti about 3 inches.
I got slightly worried when you said there's a hole in it.
Oh, don't. There is...
what is see the artwork of the hole in Terry?
No!
There is something that is labeled Pet Rock, which is a small rock that glows. You've got your detect magic. It glows with enchantment energy, if looked at with detect magic. Many pieces of art of varying sizes. None of them appear to be like particularly valuable, though collectively they might be worth something. And then 5 bottles of almost pure alcohol. The notable items: Cloak of Billowing.
Oh!
No, not again.
A figurine of wondrous power that is Silver Raven, though it appears to have already been used
again.
For this week. It appears to have been used for this week.
That's the one I gave up.
Is it exactly the same one? Who knows? A glowing vial that's marked "Do not unseal."
Okay.
But you have nothing else on that. Boots of feline agility.
Okay.
Okay.
But again, you'll have to do some identifiers. 3 small dragon teeth, 2 small dragon claws, 1 meter square of blue dragon hide, something that is named the Infinite Gold Pouch, and the description says that it's a gold pouch that produces an additional illusory gold for every gold pulled from it. And there is a perception check to see the illusory one. So every 1 gold you pull out, a second one can be pulled out that is illusory.
Interesting.
Okay.
And then the small ledger, which is in notable items, of course, because that's what you're freaking looking for. And let me post these, and then remove some bits that you're not allowed to know. That.
You know I want that bottle. Give me that corked bottle.
Get rid of that.
Don't open the file.
It reminds me of the one in Baldur's Gate 3 that has a fucking beholder in it. I know, a spectator in it. But...
So there you go.
Alex, I'm going to be so real with you. I want every fucking thing you described.
Yeah, take them all. I mean, I've given it all to you because you can take it all. There are some bits that you would need to investigate. I know we've technically come to the end of the session, but if you want to, we can just say you've done... Well, I mean, you can leave the area first if you want. But we can just go through some investigations if you wish. Just to define. Yeah.
I think what we would probably do is we'll head back to the ship and take TR-51 with us. And then
well, I was going to say, you start...
the ship.
TR-51 is currently still up in the office because he can't do stairs.
Yeah, I'm going to enlarge, reduce on him, make him small, and carry him.
Sure, you do so. And he's just like...
Wow, everybody got big.
Have we confirmed that we have the Badger Ledger?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. I saw about the ledgers, and so I heard you saying about ledgers, but I think I missed the word badger.
Badger.
But
Badger.
most importantly, we got little Steve.
Wow, glad to know that you prefer little Steve over TR-51.
Over the Badger, which is the thing that you were saying.
How did everybody get so large?
This is going to sound like I'm belittling you. It's, well, I guess I did belittle you. It's literally magic.
I do not understand.
You are being belittled. Please do not resist.
Maybe that's what I'll call that spell from now
A little-
on. The belittling or be
Belage.
beginning.
Bebiggen.
I like be biggin. Yeah, bebiggin.
You make your way back to the ship. Do you bebiggen TR-51 again?
It wears off. It wears off after a minute. So when we're on like,
Yeah, no, on the journey. TR-51's not particularly fast. Maybe like half your normal speed, just buzzes along.
it's okay.
But eventually, yes.
We'll get you some upgrades, buddy.
If we have some ropes, I will C3PO
Sure.
him and be Chewbacca.
And you eventually get back to the ship. You see no guards. You see no people. Well, a couple of people on the way back, but none of them. Well, maybe they look at you and go, "Why is that weird armored man got a robot on his back?" But no one approaches you. But eventually, you get back to the ship.
Thanks for my new shield with loads of technology, Pesto.
I am not a shield. I am a robot.
No, friend. You are a friend, TR.
I am a friend.
That's all right. It's just so that the people giving us funny looks are like, no, it's fine. It's just a really like advanced shield.
Stop giving funny looks.
What?
I am shield.
Shield development hasn't come very far in the last few hundred years because it's usually just like a hunk of wood or metal.
Ozzy, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I think no matter what, we're gonna pull stairs, seeing as we are currently a centaur, a skeleton in a big metal suit, a raccoon, and a normal lady with a dragon.
I do not do well with stairs.
Yeah, but none of us are like confiscated property.
Well,
Oh, that's all in my bag. They can't see that.
Well, I mean the robot.
No, TR is just another member of our weird group now.
I do not wish to alarm you, but the dog is following us. Pointing at Pumpkin.
That's our dog.
I own a dog.
You do.
yeah.
You should try and fight it to the death when you feel able to do that.
No, friends don't fight each other to the death.
There's a little like loading symbol. It's just noted. Friends do not fight each other to the death.
I have to disagree. I've known several people to do that. I mean,
To the
sometimes
not
they
death
do.
is fine. No, they don't. Once you are fighting to the death, you are no longer friends.
I never really looked at it like that before.
Yeah.
What if you keep fighting after you're dead and you make up?
That is unusual. But I suppose that's good if you make up afterwards, but you're still not friends at the time you fight to the death,
yeah.
are you?
I mean, kind of. Like, there was this couple that I knew. They were back on my old ship. They were married, and they also became undead. But like, it was because they were like the whole death do us part thing, and then death didn't part them because they were part of the crew. So they were just kind of stuck with each other. But then they kind of rekindled their marriage afterwards, and I just thought that was nice. But it,
Very nice, but did
No.
they fight each other to the death?
yes, it was kind of a battle of attrition. He kept nagging her and killed her emotionally and sexually, she said, and she killed him with a knife to the gut.
Which is more killy.
Yes. He then took out the knife and then
that's
stabbed
subtle.
her. So,
Okay, that's fairly
Like,
killy
yeah.
as well. Not friends then.
well, they were friends. Like they got
But-
married. I guess
At the
during
time
the
of
stabbing they
the
were
death,
friends.
though.
That's different.
Exactly. See, the fighting to the death bit, not friends at that time.
Gotcha.
On the ship. You do a bunch of identify.
So many identifyings.
Exactly. So let's go through. So the cloak of billowing, you already know what it does. There's no point in me because these are D&G stuff. The figurine of wondrous power, silver raven, you also get that. The glowing vial marked "Do not unseal." You discover. What I'm going to say to you is, if you open it, something happens to the opener.
Hey, Ozzy, you want to open this for me?
No.
I mean, I can if the captain wants me to.
Not yet. I mean, I think perhaps.
Hey,
you should-
TR. No.
But it could be. I mean, it could be great.
The boots of feline agility. Wearing the boots gives the wearer advantage on stealth checks. Easy.
Whoa.
You already know about the infinite gold pouch. Yes. The only other thing, the pet rock, which is glowing with enchantment energy. You spend your 10 minutes, you look at it, and you find out that it is enchanted. The enchantment is that it is enchanted to be enchanted.
Okay, fine. We also have the other pet.
Is it like that item that gives you an extra attunement slot, but it requires attunement?
Yes, my favorite ring.
Sort of
The
ring,
ring.
yeah.
the attunement ring.
And we've also got, of course, the black. What was it called? The potato thing.
The black thing. That.
Pumpkin's new chew toy.
Yeah, it's basically just
Was
a
potato
black
friend.
rock that is enchanted
Just
to be
one
slightly wrong.
rock.
The only other thing, the
Oh,
other
we
thing
also
you
have-
have is the large black
Black
coin.
coin. We also have those 2 potions, so don't trust what they're labelled. Or the other potion and the scroll.
So with the black coin, initially you're probably looking at it with your detect magic, and it appears to give weirdly a transmutation sort of magic to it.
Okay.
Okay, fine. You spend your 10 minutes, and you find it is whoever attunes to it would develop a severe allergy to the last thing you ate.
Oh,
So you eat something and you become severely allergic to it. But you've got to attune to it before that happens.
I said attuned. It is late and I'm warm. I did not mean attune. I meant equip. As much as you can equip a coin.
Right. So if you give somebody a coin and they sort of take it, they'll become allergic to the last thing they eat, sort of thing. Right, excellent. Cloak of Billowing.
I mean, just take it.
Pity it hasn't got. Yeah, it's a pity it hasn't got the fanfare and the dubs. But, you know,
Just take it though. You know you want it.
No, you want to.
why not? I can already do false money, and
We have so many false money things now.
we can make somebody very rich for a very short amount of time. We've got all this pretend money as well, isn't it? So, Little Steve, Pesto. I'm sure you could take Little Steve and turn him into one of your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, little Steve is mine.
And most importantly, TR51.
Yes,
And TR51. Yes.
my new best friend.
You get to do it. Oh, you're going to fix him, are you? You get to do an identity.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take you long to fix the arm. It fits. It's the same. It's obviously his arm. You just have to wire it up properly and fix it up. Do a bit of mending. It's fine. When you do so, he like spins around the hand. He's like, "Yay! Now I have twice the power."
We're gonna need to build a lift in the ship for you because right now we just have these very steep stairs.
I will learn stairs
How?
carefully.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. You can make it one of those tracks with like a triangular shape, so they can sort of turn. It will go up the stairs.
I could. How do you feel about modifications?
I will modify you if you wish.
No, me modify you.
Incorrect grammar. I modify you.
No. All right, let's bench modification as a topic then.
Modification accepted. You may change me to be better.
Only if you want. That sounded sad. Don't. When you're allowed to have an opinion, TR.
Thank you. I shall now have an opinion.
Pesto, if you can't love him as he is, at his worst, as he is at the moment, you don't deserve him at his best.
Listen, I'm just thinking if I were a robot, I would love to be modified sometimes so I can do more things. But maybe that's not the case. And if it's not the case, that's fine.
You are a robot?
If I were, I was saying.
Aww.
Sorry.
Excitement quenched.
Oh.
Well, I'll leave you to consider that anyway. Right. Let's get some sleep, chaps. We're going to find that odd bloke in the inn to give me his ledger back tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I have never slept before. I shall try.
Just relax.
Relaxing. Doesn't move.
That's close enough for me. Pesto is all yours.
Okay.
the lights all go
I
off
thought-
as you go to sleep, and there's just these two eyes just glowing in the darkness.
You can turn him on, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm not going to turn him off. Did you hear how sad he was when we asked if he wanted to be turned off before?
You can take that on
He's
again.
never going off again.
I'm going to clip-clop back to my cabin.
You don't fit.
You can squeeze it in.
I've been a centaur before.
You have, which is odd.
Yes. But I imagine I won't fit in my bunker, so the kids sleep on the floor tonight.
That's really a good place for us to call it. Thank you for bearing with how hot it's been. Hopefully next week it is not quite so warm.
I hope
anyone listening to this, if it's really hot for you, thank you as well.
yes.
It's it's not been ideal, but we do what we do. And now you have a new friend.
We have a new friend.
Yippee!
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Judy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then.
I have a silly question. How
Hello.
long have you all been back?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Good while.
5 to 10.
That means
What?
that my Discord crashed on the break. Because I've been sat here with my headphones on, waiting for you all to get back.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
I looked at the time and I was like, they're taking a really long time to get back. I hope my Discord hasn't done something. I'll just exit and come back. Fuck's sake. I thought it's been ages. What is going on? It's unusual for people not to have like messaged if needing a long break or something.
Brilliant. Oh, dear, oh dear.